Hey, what is going on, everybody? Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel. Got another video for you guys today. Before we get started with today's video, please make sure to drop a like down below. It definitely helps the channel out a lot and makes a massive difference. Also, please make sure to subscribe to the channel to receive more Dallas Cowboys content from yours truly, now and in the future. And finally, hit that notification bell to be notified when I go live or post new content. So, with that out of the way, we have a lot to talk about. As you know, it's the day after one of the most wild Cowboys wins in franchise history. I've never seen anything like it in my lifetime. I mean, there are a couple games. I think the last time I remember a game ending like this was probably 2007 versus the Bills. You probably know that game where it literally Romo threw 5 interceptions and all that other stuff. So it was a pretty wild game. But I think what makes this game a lot different was that we were down 20 points. We shot ourselves in the foot so many times. And it's just unbelievable. You know, in that Bills game, it was a close game. In this, we were just getting blown the hell out. But with that just comparison aside, I want to look at this game as in-depth as possible. I don't know how long that might take. So I would recommend you sit back, relax, get a snack, whatever you got to do, because this might be a bit, who knows. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So let's start out with overall the game in terms of what I saw and what I think needs to be improved and what needs to be, continued on and stuff like that. So when we watched this game, the Cowboys and the Falcons really couldn't get anything going in the first couple minutes of the game, right? It was a 3-and-out, then the Cowboys went 3-and-out, then the Falcons went 3-and-out again, and then the Cowboys fumbled, and that led to a touchdown for Atlanta. Then they fumbled again, and then Atlanta got another touchdown. Then there was a fake punt that led to a field goal. So far 17 points off of turnovers. Then there was another fumble, which led to a field goal. Okay, so I want you to think about this, right? The first quarter is not even over yet, right? The first quarter isn't even... we're not even through the first quarter. And the Cowboys are already down 20-0 off of turnovers, okay? So they've so far had, if you include a turnover on downs as a turnover in the stat sheet, because technically it isn't for some reason, but whatever. That's 4 turnovers. Okay, so the Cowboys have 4 turnovers in the first quarter and are down 20 points. They basically gave Atlanta 20 free points, giving them a short field to work with. And it didn't take them long. I mean, the first touchdown was a 1 play, 22 yards. The next touchdown was 4 plays, 52 yards. Next one, the field goals were 4 plays and 7 plays respectfully. And they were pretty quick. The longest drive was the last field goal to put them up 20-0 with 3 minutes. I mean, they scored touchdowns in less than 2 minutes when it came to the time that they had. So it was very fast in which the Cowboys were, allowing the Falcons to get up on them. So the second quarter arrives, and the Cowboys answer back with a touchdown of their own. They managed to go down the field in 11 plays in about 4 minutes, and they get a touchdown to kind of be okay, the Cowboys are kind of back in this thing, hopefully, if they can score and hold the Falcons. But then Atlanta responds with a touchdown of their own. They have a missed, 2-point try, so now it's 26-7. The Cowboys then, on 11 plays, managed to get into field goal range and kick a field goal, making the score 26-10. And then Atlanta manages to match that with a field goal of their own to end the half. Now, the reason why I'm going through this is because it's unbelievable how the Cowboys were able to just dig themselves out of this hole. So they go into halftime down at 19 points, okay? Now, is the game out of reach entirely? No, because, it's just very hard to think that you would come back from that. Now, I'm going to be honest, and I was talking about the game on Twitter. I was talking about how, honestly, it looks like the Cowboys, it's not their day. It doesn't look like it's going to be a good year. And I'll admit to that because you got to be like, I want to be completely frank with you guys. Like, you don't, like, it's like hindsight's 2020, right? We could all be like, oh, you know, you weren't support. No, it's because the fact is like, it's very rare when stuff like this happens. And honestly, the Cowboys deserved every ounce of criticism going their way. I mean, I was getting ready to rip into them, probably up until, like, you know, a little bit into the the third quarter. So what ends up happening is that the Cowboys open up with you know, a drive that leads to a touchdown in 7 plays. In about 3 minutes, the Cowboys score, or less than 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 37 seconds, they got a touchdown. So there you go. So now they kind of get back in the game. And then Falcons punt after a you know, a 9-play drive that only went 28 yards. Dallas scores a touchdown again, 8 plays, 2 minutes and 47. Now, the reason I'm highlighting the amount of time it took for the Cowboys to score is because I want you to think about this. In a matter of, if you combine it, 5 minutes, the Cowboys score 14 points, and now they're down by 5. So then I'm like, okay, the Cowboys are back in this game. Atlanta scores a touchdown, going up 36-24. Then the Cowboys have a turnover on downs on a fake, you know, on a fake punt, which questionable decisions. Then the Falcons go up 39-24. And I thought that maybe, like, okay, the Cowboys might have a chance, but they had to score really quickly. They score a touchdown in 10 plays in 3 minutes. So now they're down by 10, and they failed to go for the extra point. And we'll get into the decision making momentarily. The Falcons punt after having a 5-play, 2-minute drive. Now the Cowboys, it's their chance to win the game. They have to score a touchdown and get the onside kickback and kick a field goal to win the game. And I was like, okay, odds are they'll probably score a touchdown and, you know, it'll be whatever. So they score the touchdown in 1 minute and 8 seconds. In 9 plays, last 75 yards in a minute. Unbelievable. So they score the touchdown. Now it's their chance to, you know, maybe get the ball back and win the game. So do the onside kick. Unbelievably, they get the onside kick back, and literally in the next 2 plays, you know, on the 2nd and 10. So yeah, the second play from scrimmage on that possession, they got to the Atlanta 30, and then they set up Greg Zuerlein for a chance for them to win the game, and he wins them the game. So that's a lot to unpack with the game and how it went. Now, ultimately, there are a couple things we need to highlight when it comes to, first, what did I see on offense that I liked and didn't like? Well, I didn't like how he kept trying to run the ball, especially when there were fumbling issues. Now, what I think is something that the Cowboys need to work on is they need to stop holding the ball super loosely. I think that's something that allowed for the Falcons to get that many fumbles. I mean, you know, like, 3 fumbles in 1 quarter is unbelievable. You know, well, actually there were 4 technically, but we were able to get one of them back. And it's just, the thing we need to be careful with is, you know, this is something that won't happen again in terms of being down 20 points and literally outscoring Atlanta 40 to, you know, 19 the rest of the way. Like, you know, we can joke around and be like, well, we gave the Falcons a head start, but we can't be doing this, man. This is not the way to win. So we need to work better on just, look, Dak Prescott was cooking the Falcons. You got to give him the ball and let him do his thing if that's what's working. And I said this in the pregame show. I said, you got to do it what works. If it's Dak Prescott torching him, fine. If it's you running the ball, fine. But I do like how they tried to keep it as balanced as possible to keep play action a threat. That I'll understand. But I do feel like earlier in the game, when Dak Prescott was really your only source of offense to start out, they maybe should have gone to him a little bit earlier. So there's that. And then the special teams decisions. They got to do better with this. You know, the first one being the fake punt, Chris Jones trying to throw it out to the left side. Sure, you know, maybe he could have thrown that ball better. I mean, he's a punter, so I'm not expecting that. But that could have been converted, and honestly, that was pretty poor execution there. Now the second one, now I will say though, you shouldn't be doing fake punts like that, especially when you're down just 14-0. But I guess I understand why you went for it, but still, it's still really early in the game. The second one was egregious. 4th and 5, and you run a play that only got you 2 yards. Now I can understand if it was like 4th and 2 or something like that, but my problem is that if you're going to go for it either way, why bother having the special teams unit out there? You might as well have just gone for it on offense if that was your intention. But yeah, there's that. So and then when it came to the defense, I will say I'm still not a fan of us not getting a pass rush as much as I would like. But I do have to give props to the interior of the defensive line. They were able to stop the run effectively and prevent the Falcons from really gashing us up the middle. Like, Tristan Hill played really damn good, I will admit there. And it's unbelievable how much of a stride he's taken since year 1, excuse me. And I really do like what I'm seeing from him, and the Cowboys' interior of the defensive line looks pretty solid. I think at this point, if the pass rush can find its footing soon, and hopefully it is soon, I think this team will be very tough to stop, especially if the offense can get off to better starts. Because look, you know, Team 40 Burger, we're undefeated when we score 40 points, and that's unbelievable that the Cowboys managed 40 points out of this game. I mean, I was expecting a shootout, but it looked like oh snap, like it doesn't look like the Cowboys are going to do something, but yeah. So there's that. And then when it also comes to certain situations regarding the defensive play calling, I really do think you know, I did see a couple blitzes in there. That's nice and all. And you kind of, you know, of course, when you send a blitz, you're going to get cooked if it doesn't work. There was some of those situations. But overall, I will say the defense, and I'll give them credit here, they clamped up when they needed to clamp up, okay? They only allowed Atlanta to score 10 points in the second half, while the Cowboys scored 30. So I got to give the defense props. And the special teams, John Fassel, third time's a charm. That decision to do that onside kick the way you did, and we could talk about Atlanta not knowing the rules and being a bunch of idiots, but I do have to say, the fact is that he did a pretty damn good call with that. Because what I think happened was the Atlanta Falcons receivers. Now, usually from what I've been hearing from players as well as just from others that know their thing when it comes to football, just kind of trying to research there, is that usually the first two guys are meant to block the guy behind them, and so Julio's back there with two guys in front of him, so he's going to be the one receiving the ball. And honestly, the ball went at a velocity that was perfect because you didn't know if it was going 10 yards. And by the time the Cowboys were right there to pounce on it, and the Falcons players weren't ready to pounce on it, right there, the Dallas Cowboys were able to get the ball back with a chance to win the game. And I said, listen, even if they missed the field goal, as long as they had a chance to win the game, I would not be upset, even though I'd still be pissed off. But very interesting way for the coaching staff to kind of adjust. This was a really damn good adjustment by this coaching staff. You know, okay, let Dak air it out. Let's make sure that we do this on defense. Special teams, we need to do better here and there. But overall, the Dallas Cowboys did their damn thing. I mean, the Cowboys, what's crazy is the Dallas Cowboys did not punt after the first quarter. So that's to say something. Now, let's go over a couple stats that I think you guys would like. Dak Prescott, 34 for 47. So far, he is off to one of his better starts to his career when it comes to just completion percentage and being very efficient on offense. Yes, he hasn't thrown like 4 or 3, 7 touchdowns to start the season, but we're winning games, and that's what's important. 450 yards and a touchdown. I mean, and also, we got to add this too. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. He got us in the red zone when we needed to. He had a bit of a dirty hit on, well, he did have a dirty hit on him, and F that guy that hit him. But I will tell you this, him coming back and doing what he did was some real leadership stuff, and I really do appreciate QB1 for that. So Dak Prescott, salute to you, my man. The game ball goes to you because you're the reason we were in this game and we, be able to win this game. And I'm going to be honest. Yeah, you could say a couple of these things, but he was pretty much getting you down the field, So there's that. Let's just look at a couple things to keep in mind. The Cowboys had 33 first downs, 20 from passing the ball and 9 from rushing the ball. And when it comes to first downs from penalties, there was 4 of them. The Cowboys were way better on third down this game. They were 7 for 13. That's a little bit above 50%. Really damn good. Now, they were 0 for 2 on fourth down, but what's interesting is their 0 for 2 conversions were based off of trick plays. So, that's still bad, but honestly, if the offense was out there, I would not be shocked if they had converted a couple of these fourth downs. The Cowboys ran 81 total plays compared to the Falcons' 72. I mean, the Falcons had 22 first downs, 15 passing, 5 rushing, and 2 from penalty. And they were also well on for a third down, 8 for 17, and they went for it twice on fourth down, and they converted both times. In terms of total yardage, oh my God. The Dallas Cowboys had almost 600 yards of total offense, 570 to be exact. Meanwhile, the Falcons had 380 total yards of offense. The Cowboys had 14 total drives. Meanwhile, the Falcons had 12. And I'll just go from here with the Cowboys. I mean, yards per play, 7 from the Cowboys. Already mentioned passing attack. I mean, the Cowboys did pretty well to limit Matty Ice with going deep in some of these instances. I know early in the game he did have the wide open touchdown to Hayden Hurst, but otherwise they were able to contain the Falcons' passing attack from going deep and torching them quickly. Like, they made them march methodically down the field, and it made it a bit harder for them to score points towards the latter part of the game. No interceptions thrown or received from the Cowboys and Falcons. The Cowboys had 1 sack, so did the Falcons. Rushing the ball, the Cowboys had 125 yards, the Falcons had 113. Red zone opportunities, another damn fine performance from the Cowboys there. 5 out of 6 attempts were converted in the red zone. That's pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. While the Cowboys had 3 turnovers with 3 fumbles lost, but if you really think about it, they had 5 turnovers. 3 turnovers in terms of fumbles and 2 turnovers on downs. That's unbelievable. And the Cowboys did not win the time of possession in this game. And based off of how I explained the scoring summary, they really didn't need time of possession. They were scoring quickly and methodically and effectively. 33-48 for the Falcons and 26-12 for the Cowboys. And of course, this game did have fans in it, 22% of the full capacity. Man, I really wish this game had 100,000 people in the stadium. That would have been unbelievable. Let's look at the full box score for other players. Well, first, congratulations to Dak Prescott. He is the first quarterback in NFL history to have over 400 yards, passing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Salute to Dak Prescott with a hell of a game. When it comes to rushing the ball, Dallas had Ezekiel Elliott as their leading rusher with 22 carries with 89 yards and a touchdown. Then when we go to the receiving game, Dallas had a damn fine day when it came to CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz showed up, Michael Gallup made a clutch catch, and Ezekiel Elliott, getting some passes out of the backfield. Yeah, man, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott has another game of over 100 yards of total offense. Amari Cooper doing his thing at home with 100 yards. I mean, with that damn one-handed catch, that was amazing. CeeDee Lamb doing his thing, man. CeeDee Lamb looked very damn good. He looked as good as advertised, getting open, making plays, run after the catch abilities. Man, that was unbelievable to see. Now, Tony Pollard did not get the ball as many times as I would say we would like. I mean, probably after he fumbled, obviously, we didn't really see much from him, but still, it's whatever. Going over to the fumbles, I mean, Zeke fumbled twice and lost 1. Dak, and also Tony fumbled once, but they didn't count that. Dak fumbled once and lost his, and that was the first time in a while. And Dalton Schultz You know, he fumbled too. And I got to give props to Dalton Schultz here, because Dalton Schultz, I was not expecting for him to do what he did. You know, catching the ball, getting effective yards. That's exactly what we needed. We needed our tight ends, and Blake Bell too. Blake Bell made some clutch catches too. That's what we've been waiting to see from our tight ends. Or it could have just been one or multiple. We were able to get down the field with the tight ends to get some yardage to keep this thing rolling, and that is damn fine. Defensively speaking, Jalen Smith leading the way in total tackles and solo tackles with 13 and 8 solo tackles and 1 pass deflection and a tackle for loss. But I do have to point this out. He did not look good to start this game, man. You know, him and man coverage going up against some of these tight ends. It's like he didn't look good in these instances. I mean, Joe Thomas looked fantastic. I got to give him props there. Joe Thomas had a really damn good game. 12 total tackles, 6 solo. Really damn good game, and you got a quarterback hit. Got to talk about Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs, there was one play where he nearly got cooked by Julio, but I mean, he almost got an interception too. I mean, he looked damn good. I mean, and also Worley almost had an interception too to start the game, which could have maybe changed the complexion of it. But ultimately, I do love what I'm seeing from Trevon Diggs. He looks like once he's continuing to get better, and once he fully establishes himself, he's going to be a problem. I really do like what I saw from Trevon Diggs. When we look at a couple of these pass rushers, Everson Griffin, you know, he looks solid. You know, he managed to get a sack when it counted, but DeMarcus Lawrence, man, he's been disappointing to start this year. I just don't know what's going on with him. They were talking about how he was on the sidelines and how something was bothering him, but I'm just sorry, man, but DeMarcus needs to step up. I understand, like, and I'm not talking about sack-wise, just production-wise. He's only had a couple tackles to start this season off, and we need to start having a conversation of what's going on with DeMarcus Lawrence. But with the season still young, maybe he'll prove me wrong, man. Prove me wrong. Give me a couple sacks, or maybe a couple solid plays in the backfield. We'll see. And then we got to give a huge shout out to the offensive line. Brandon Knight, Terrence Steele, applauses to you guys because you were able to hold down the fort with Tyron out and with Lyell out. So I am definitely just so pleased to see how well they played in the absence, and that is how we overcome injuries, guys. Being able for them to be prepared, hold their own against some of these pass rushers, and get Dak the time to do his thing. I got to give him a huge round of applause, and thanks for them to do what they were able to do. Because now we'll see if Tyron will be coming back this week. And, you know, after this week, we should be getting Lyell back. So let's see what happens. In terms of kick returns, Tony Pollard had 5 kick returns for 106 yards. 21.2 average. He had his longest was 31. So there were times where I'm like, Tony shouldn't really be taking this ball out, but I mean, he's got to do better there. And I mean, CD had 1 punt return for 3 yards, so it's whatever. Greg Zuerlein, hats off to you, my man. 2 field goals, 100%, and didn't miss a single extra point. He accounted for 10 total points. Again, huge shout out to him. He came in the clutch when we needed him. No Brett Maher crap. Able to get that crap done. And then Chris Jones, Chris Jones, he only punted once. We only punted once the entire game. Unbelievable. So as we get closer to the 30-minute mark, I guess it's time to for me to wrap this thing up with my thoughts. The Dallas Cowboys did very damn good. Todd Gurley, he wasn't effective. 2.9 yards per rush on 21 carries. They got to do better when it comes to stopping some of these shorter intermediate passes. I know you can't stop everything, but that's something they got to work on. The Cowboys were able to save their season with a win here, with a miraculous win at that, and I really do believe that the Dallas Cowboys have a chance next week, as much as that sounds crazy and how well Seattle's been playing. You know, Seattle just hung 30 points back-to-back in 2 games. So it's going to be tough, but I really have a good feeling that if the Cowboys can start off faster and their defense can show up and make key plays here and there, I don't see a reason why the Cowboys can't beat Seattle in Seattle. But again, you know, nothing's guaranteed. For all we know, we go there and we lay an egg. Because I know Mike McCarthy has struggled with Seattle before, but like of recent, he's kind of flipped the script with them. So we'll see what happens, man. I really do like what I saw. But I will tell you this to end this thing off, and I'll let you guys go. This is a type of win that can definitely set a tone for a season or start something special. Now, I'm not implying that something special will happen this year, but if the Cowboys get on a roll, and let's say we're sitting back after like 3 or 4 wins straight, or like hell, we're sitting at a solid record going later into the year, and we're on our way to win the division, this is going to be the game we look back at and say, this is where the run started. And I can definitely say that for a fact. I mean, Philadelphia looking terrible, the Giants losing Saquon and not looking good at all, and the Washington football team. I mean, the Washington football team looked atrocious as well. I mean, I really do think that the Cowboys, it's their division to lose at this point, and I still stand by that. I mean, if the Giants lose and Philly lose and Washington loses again and the Cowboys pull out a victory versus Seattle, I have a really good feeling that the Cowboys will be able to pull this thing off and win this division. So feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this win. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, do all that jazz. I'll catch you guys in the next one. So have a great day, guys. Go Cowboys. Let's enjoy this win for one more day, and we're back to it. All right, guys. Peace out. Bye-bye.